go. Hello, everyone. Welcome, officially welcome to the sixth live session. This is the sixth live session where we're discussing episode 2 of season 2 of Black Mirror. This episode was called White Bear. I would like to hear some general opinions about this first. Jorge Pinto, I would like to start by you. What are your general thoughts about this episode?
Okay, I think it's a theme very interesting for me because it's about law, about penal law, the crime, and my job is about this. But for the complex for the team, I wrote about a comment about the chapter. I could read.
That's a professional. Very good, Jorge.
He's obviously a lawyer.
So I wrote an escrito for this. So yeah, go ahead. Would you like to share that with us now or maybe later?
No, now it's
sure.
Now it's
go ahead.
Yes, I talk with Pipe and then he can't come with us.
Don't worry, it's okay. Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay, I think about the cap. That is a hypothetically situation, but with a really charge of reality, because it's the caricature about the people once with the criminals. Doesn't matter the qualify of the crime. Of course, this way of solution a political crime problem is against the human rights of the people, and great problem for the values of constitution and penal law. Because when you, as society, able these mechanisms of solution, you able us to the people commit the same thing that the state is doing. For example, if the state are killing, why I shouldn't kill people? And it is the same argument to be against death penalty. The state is the first in charge of state security and to protect the values of society. And if in his mission fails, all the system fails because we will lose the control. Because in this stage, all the people could be killed the others. Finally, in this program, not even rehabilitation, only Punisher program, I saw two problems. First, the program promote the violation of human rights because it's torture.
Yeah.
And second, try to solve a social problem or a fact of the human nature with a show. And this is not a civilized way to solution our problem as society. Also, it is so American solution. Everything with a show to make money, always making a business. And the penalty problems don't need more business, only need spend money for prevention and to investigate new forms or new ways to protect our children and the repeat offenders. This is my...
I'm very proud of you, Jorge Pinto. First of all, congratulations. This is a great reflection. I think this is a discussion for today. Thank you guys for coming. So I think you went through everything we want to go through, especially when it comes to this policy of teeth by teeth, eye for an eye, teeth by teeth. Eye for an eye, teeth for teeth would be eye for an eye. I think it's okay. So an eye for an eye. How would you punish a crime committing the same crime, and how society thinks that this is a solution somehow? And well, of course, we'll see. We're trying to see how we can see this in our world nowadays, as we always do with Black Mirror, because Black Mirror is scary, real. It's always like that. It's always telling you, oh, you know what? It looks like fiction, but guess what? It's reality. And especially with these episodes are from 2012. We talked about this last meeting, and it's scary how much. I think we've seen a lot of this recently with the last cases in which we've had, for example, what was the name? Amber? Or cases like that where you see people want justice, but the concepts of justice that we have maybe wrong, or I don't know how. It's not wrong. This is difficult, very difficult discussion for me. I think this is going to be the toughest. Hernan, what are your thoughts about this?
What? Oh, hi, Kathy. How are you?
Hello there.
Hello.
Nice
I
to
was
see
Hi,
you.
Adi.
I
Nice
was
to see you.
to spinning. I was
Ah, spinning
Eh,
and watching Black Mirror at the same time.
exactly.
That's
Yes.
my girl. That's my girl. But don't worry, it's great to have you here now. Hernan, he was about to share his thoughts about this episode. So let's go, Hernan. Go ahead.
Great. Well, to be honest, I think I cannot make such a great analysis as Jorge,
Yeah.
but I will try to say no. Yeah, man,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was amazing.
It was really
The how profound it was. I mean, I haven't thought about the relationships with law, with the constitution, with human rights. Well, maybe I'm direct level, but yeah, I think it was great. So I will do a little bit more of a emotional analysis of the aesthetics of the episode, because
Yeah.
I think we cannot discuss what he said, but
And maybe the acting.
well,
Maybe we can talk about the acting, the
yeah,
aesthetic,
why not?
the
The
music.
evolution of the characters,
Yeah, the
the
development of
plot,
characters, the plot, but not.
the use
Yeah.
of cameras, the direction of art
Yeah,
and stuff. So
that's my thing. That's my thing. Language, if you want, we can talk about language too. But that's it for that's my part. Yeah. So go ahead with your
well,
emotional reflection.
well, but first, I think it was very simple in some parts of the episode, but sometimes when all the shotgun and the running and the stuff were happening, it was quite difficult to me to understand what they were really saying.
Yeah.
So I get the
Yeah.
whole episode, but it was really hard to understand when they were shouting very fast some instructions or what to
Yeah.
do or what to say or how they feel. So yeah, it was a really challenging episode
I think.
first. And
Sorry, I
sorry,
think
sorry.
it was for a purpose. I think that they had a purpose when it came to. For me, it was like too much information. Especially when it comes to very British, like and you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
understand.
yeah. I think a couple of people there were talking Cockney. You
Yeah,
know,
yes,
the
and I think the idea was to show that they were everyday people, regular people, like
sorry, Cockney is the popular accent of the British.
yeah, like the common people accent, or common, yeah, like not posh,
Yeah,
not
but
fancy, not
nowadays
posh.
it's different. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But
okay,
yeah, anyways, I think the idea was to create the sense that you were in a like on a street on everyday life, and at the same time to confuse you and to create the same atmosphere that she was experiencing, like the chaos, the tension, the confusion, like what's going on, what the hell. And
yeah,
it was like,
yeah,
what the
yeah. You're
hell.
right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
But well, thank you. I really appreciate that you are offering us to practice in both ways. And in my case, practicing just watching it without episodes, so without subtitles, it's really challenging. And especially in this episode, I think it happened in some specific scenes. So it
yeah,
was great for in that way. But well, talking about the emotional transformation of this whole episode, I think I I wondered about what should happen so we could have a society just like that. Because I think in several levels we are just a few steps before transforming that kind of society. So I know we're not like that. I think Jorge's right. There are so many different reasons why this is not a good idea at all. But I'm thinking what kind of things, what kind of milestones can happen in order to transform, to change our society and into this sorrow, pity, and in a way resentful society, because I think we're going right through there, in a way. So yeah, I think that's the question that I wanted to share, maybe for
later in discussion.
yeah, for later. Yeah. So yeah, I think that was crazy, and at the same time, I was wondering how sick the finale was. You know, especially when they were showing us the credits of this, and and you see like all this amusement park of the
Yeah.
suffering
It's
of this Spanish woman
Disneyland of torture.
and the children and the rules, and I don't know. I think it was psychopathic in a way. So yeah, it was really insane. As like just like I said a few minutes ago when we weren't recording, I hate Black Mirror, but it's so damn good, So yeah,
Yeah, it's like
it's
I
it
feel
really makes you think.
we always get the same conclusion, that it really makes you think, and it really makes you think that we're just 2 steps from whatever reality they're showing us. It's like every
Yeah, in
time
some
they're showing
theories
us
there are
just there.
100 steps, but there is always a path
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
there. Yeah,
We're
it's
just about
so
to start the process of becoming whatever society they're showing us in every episode. So I think in this case, I can even think that we are already in that path. I'm
it's
as
so well
usual.
structured.
I'm as usual. I will be pessimistic here with the with the pessimistic perspective of society, but I really think that we are already in that path. For example, when you watch I don't know, the morning shows where they're showing you, like the case of Fernanda Maciel. It was a TV show. The guilty was always the guy who the family, who the closest one thought was the guilty, who the police thought was the guilty person. But the TV went through everybody else before going into him, and went through especially her private life. I think we can also see this as a woman here, like how much we are not seeing the other aspects. She never. I'm not getting there yet. I would like to hear Kathy's first. Kathy, what are your thoughts before we get into? I'm about to explode with ideas. So, Kathy.
Yes, in the first part, also without subtitle, no,
Subtitles?
I don't know.
Subtitles?
Yes, but in the middle of the episode, I put of this word.
In Spanish
Big.
or English?
Oh, sorry, in Spanish. But in the end, because I don't I can
okay.
understand.
It's okay. You're still discussing here in English. It's okay.
But yes, but these things help me to understand the episode, and I think 2 things. Once it's about it's about the society today. That, for example, when it's a crime or fire, I don't know, but all the people watching or take pictures or in the news, in this episode show this, and the other part is about this woman that in the fact of the crime, you watch another person die or dead to another person. I don't know when I say this. Cuando matan, kill it.
Yeah. She
kill another person.
Yeah.
And you was ¿cómo se dice? How can I say como no eres el que hace el crimen, pero
yeah, you are an accomplice.
An accomplice, yes. And I remember the case of Quillota or Moe, I don't remember, but when the father killed his daughter, yes, and this woman it's guilty also.
Yeah.
And I remember for this woman in the episode, all the things that she lives, it's justificate,
Justified? Justified?
justified. Yes.
So you
Yes.
think she's justified?
No, no, no.
Ah, sorry.
All the people make this saying. Yes, the torture.
Yeah.
Yes, because I think that for example, if your boyfriend killing another person, as you saw this,
And
you
you
are
allow this. Yeah. of course.
exactly.
Yeah, but
And
she was not only guilty by association, she also committed the crime.
Yeah.
But
she
she
participated.
defended on court that she was kind of expelled by the love of him. So
exactly.
she did part of the crime.
Yes,
She did kill the daughter,
and I think that this type.
the girl,
girl.
sorry.
Yes, but I think that this type of person obviously has a
Psychological problem.
sadness, exactly, but it's not justified.
Yeah.
It's
This
never
type of
justified.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justified.
We have here like mental issues. I think like a lot of people here has mental issues. The people that go to this park, the people who run this park, and the women. So I think let's start by that, so we can before we go into this law part. What is this? That's offensive. No. Here in this group, no, you are not. You are not. You don't have mental issues, guys. You are the smart and sane people. But I'm talking about this girl. So I'd like to start talking about her mental state first, so we can understand the context here. So yeah, this woman was committed a crime with her boyfriend, or it was like the fiance, I think, and they kidnapped this little girl, tortured her, and killed her. He was the, like, how do you call the Jorge? This is you helping me. How do you call the one that commits the crime? Actor in Spanish? Actor material?
Autor,
Autor material.
autor
Yeah.
cómplice y encubridor.
Yeah. So he is like the author of the crime, the main author. If that's probably not the concept in terms of law, but he committed the crime, but she supporting him, helped him, covered for him, everything. So she also committed the crime too. But I think, and this is where I would like to start the discussion and ask you guys, what do you think? I think throughout the episode, we saw that this woman, I don't remember her name, this woman was always obeying everyone. She was very submissive with everyone in the episode. Like, she never questioned anything. She always just followed the girl first who told her, do this, grab this, run. She never started something. She always followed. Even in the car, she was like, I don't want to get there. I think I know this guy. And the other woman was like, come in, and pressure, like she went up. I think they're showing us here that of course, she is a criminal, but she is very ill when it comes to not being able to choose for herself. I don't know. Yes, I see heads moving. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Do you think they were trying to show us that she also had some kind of emotional dependency? I can see that you disagree. I'm going to you now. Maybe some emotional dependency that caused her to be considered somehow a victim, because I think, especially in the penal system, I think it's also important to consider the backgrounds of the accused. So where does she come from? Was she maybe her life story? We don't get her life story. She doesn't remember anything. So actually, we don't even know if she was actually guilty. We only saw this, but we never saw her remembering the crime. So yeah, I don't know. Jorge, what do you think, Mr. Lawyer? What do you think here? Should we consider somehow her background?
No, I think she was in drugs or drunk. I think it's not insane. Mental, her mental health is awful, and because she received the electric shocks and other things, and I think no me acuerdo cómo se llama
I
the
don't remember
girl,
her name.
yeah,
What's her
but
name?
the girl, I don't know,
Juanita.
but
Yeah,
well,
Mary.
Mary,
But you
Juanita Mary.
watched it recently.
You
Candy.
just watch it, Kathy. You should remember this. I'm Googling it now,
So
right now. Don't
if it is
worry.
Juanita for you, we have no choice.
Don't worry, don't worry. I can check that. Jorge, continue, please.
By the way, the woman, aquí está. The woman don't the woman is not really her, is other person, because she was in effect of drugs and chemics, and I think the woman that we see is not the real woman,
Yeah.
that the woman guilty of the crime.
Yeah.
In the same thing, in the same way, this
Sorry, her
crime.
name is Victoria. Her name is Victoria.
Victoria. Thank you. The case of Victoria is the same case about Amber. It's the same case.
I thought about that
Because
immediately.
yes, of course, it's the case about a man with problems with a criminal homicide. Is involucrated with a woman emotionally, and the woman finally is sharing the crime because for the law, for the health problems. And I think this is the case because it's a very common case, because the homicide find a person with problems, or persons. It's difficult to think that, but the serial criminals or criminal of high connotation, they find the specifically people. For example, in the case of not the teacher of music of Iquilpue,
Yes.
is the same.
Professor Nivaldo.
Nivaldo. The criminals found him. The girl or the man. In this case, two criminal minds are enjoying the crime
together.
And I think the Victoria, by the way, the Victoria is not the woman that commit the crime. That's not. I don't want to say that she, after all, don't think or don't reflect about that. But we don't know, because don't never see a Victoria
He doesn't remember.
Of course he doesn't. No, he doesn't
remember anything.
But exactly. But without drugs, we don't know how think Victoria.
Yeah, we don't know her without the effect of this torture. We never got to see her before. Just flashbacks, and with no background. We don't have. I think this is good. This is great about the episode, that they don't give you any background. So you have to interpret everything. So it all comes to, just like you do when you watch a crime on TV, that you have to interpret everything. You rely on your background, you rely on your values, what you think that society is, or I don't know. So I think this episode is perfect in doing that, in giving you just the facts, somehow the facts, because they are the facts only on one side of the coin, the official side, justice system, and no background information. So, and we are making speculations and talking about this and why does this happen, just like everybody else there in the episode, without knowing how all this happened. So I love it. I love that. It's like a social experiment. They're trying to show you a reality while making you do the same process. So, Kathy, before we go into Mr. I disagree, Kathy, what do you think? Do you think that she was plain evil too, or maybe that she was somehow a weaker mind? This is something common in criminals, as what he was saying, that every time you have criminal couples, most of the time one of them is in control and the other one is like dominated, but at the same time both are evil people, like they have evil intentions. I think. I don't know. What do you think?
Yes, I think that first, for to make a criminal, you are very brave, but all the criminal, I think that it's in the both.
Yeah.
It's very common that you have another person that support you for make the crime. Yes.
Yeah, to commit the crime. Assist
Exactly.
you.
Yes. Yes. And I think that I believe in this episode that this woman filmed all the criminal.
Yeah, she
Okay.
filmed the whole crime.
Yes, I think that. And I think that all these type of people have an psychological sickness. Yes.
Yes.
And
Illness.
yes.
Illness.
Come on.
Condition.
Illness. Oh yeah, condition, psychological condition could be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or issues.
Okay, and another part, this woman when go out the house, she doesn't have time for thinking.
No.
In any time, and obviously if you don't have time for make decision, obviously you run or you follow the person or the massa.
Yeah, the mass.
Okay. Yes, and a ver, deja ordenar mi idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, first, I think that all the people that make criminal have issues.
Yeah.
And have a system first. And another part, I believe that this woman assisted the criminal, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I think that this woman, if was guilty, she doesn't have time for make decisions or run or think about the crime or
Yeah, she's just being tortured, constant torture.
yes, but
yeah, she doesn't have the time to. I'm sorry.
It doesn't como que no tiene que ver, ¿cómo se dice?
It depends on the sentence.
Como que no, it's not for the drugs.
Yeah.
For example, if you was without drugs on one day, one typical date, and you get out of your house, and in the position of this woman without drugs,
yeah,
you make the same. I think you make
the
same.
Yeah.
You run. It's the same.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That I think that with or without drugs, I would be in the same position. I would be freaking out the whole time. She's always freaking out. She's constantly in a constant commotion or like hysterical. He's hysterical. Yes. She's hysterical. She can't stop crying. It's like a panic crisis. Because I think I would be in the same position if one day you leave your house and everybody wants to kill you.
And in the case, for example, if appear another person that this person can help or can help you,
you would rely on that person.
You trust in this person. Yes.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
Dependent. No es como dependiente.
Yeah, and I was trying to say that I think I agree with you that any of us would do the same thing, and maybe they're not showing us that she's obedient, but she's just like everybody else in a panic situation. I think I can take the point that it could be what everyone would do, not only that she had a problem or that they were trying to show us that she had a problem. I still think that she's one of those cases where you have an accomplice that that has emotional dependency on the dominant criminal. And somehow you'll see a lot of cases in which especially women do exactly as I told. They're evil too, but they are a little bit manipulated or controlled, I think. I don't know. Hernan, go ahead.
Well, I will start with the last. I think you're wrong with that. I think that's a gender bias.
Yeah.
And maybe it
There
could
are men too.
happen
There
more
are men too.
frequently uh, in more patriarchal societies. Yeah, it may be more frequent just because of that, but well, sorry.
No, but sorry, let me
Going back
just
to,
take off
my
the women
opinion,
thing. Yeah.
I neither agree with you nor Jorge with your opinions on your face hypothesis. I don't think at all that sh- that she is certainly uh, vulnerable to others and she was influenced by her boyfriend and stuff. I mostly agree with Kathy's opinion and what Jorge said, and then you agreed at the end of Jorge's opinion. I think we are uncertain. We cannot be certain, and we cannot assume how was she. And I think you're right, Alicia, when you said in your final comments that it was intentional. The writer of this story didn't put any or didn't put enough information, so we cannot really assume. We're
What
just
happened?
guessing
Yeah.
how was she, because I think it's a gender bias to assume that it's more probable that she was more vulnerable to him and not backwards. Maybe she was the dominant
The criminal mind.
in that couple, or maybe she was the Antares de la Luz and not him. You know, we cannot be certain about that. So,
Yeah.
and I think it's a gender bias to think that
Yeah,
she was the
I
vulnerable
wanted
one.
to
But it's interesting. It's
yeah,
interesting
but I
though.
wanted
So
to take off the gender thing. I'm not talking. It's just it's more common that you see this. I'm kind of fan of criminal investigation, so I've seen a lot of cases like this in which most of the case is the woman, but yeah, maybe it's patriarchy. It doesn't have to do with the gender
yeah,
thing.
I think it is. I
Doesn't have
think
to
it
do
is.
with a gender thing. It's not that
Nothing-
men are more like this and women are more like this. No, I think it's a gender thing of society that we women could be more vulnerable in these terms. But it's
yeah,
not yeah, it's not
and I
both.
think we can be gender biased because of the society in what we're living right now
Yeah,
nowadays.
it's kind of
So
difficult to stay
yeah,
away
we
from
tend
gender
to
bias.
think that kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. I'm not pointing no one. Don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah,
about
don't
that
worry,
too.
don't
So,
worry.
yeah. But well, I think yeah, it's really amazing how the writer put every dot so you cannot connect all the dots. You can connect just a few of them, and you just need to assume what happened, and that's it. Maybe she was the real criminal mind here. Maybe she was the person who convinced a good but unethical lawyer to say on court that she was expelled by her
Under his
boyfriend.
spell.
Maybe she even killed her boyfriend. We don't know,
No,
and
he
that's
kills
really
himself,
interesting.
I think.
We just know that on court they say she was expelled,
Yeah.
but the images that the director too showed us weren't certain at all. We just saw how.
We saw a
mm,
baby girl talking. We saw a
no.
couple.
I'm thinking the scenes when she was shown before she got caught, and they weren't as clear as we needed to sum up something about that.
Yeah.
She was just staring at the end, maybe because she was kind of spell, or maybe she was thinking, or she was really insane. We don't know. And as Jorge said, we are not certain too about if she was on drugs, she was uh, suffering
Abuse.
electroconvulsions. I don't know how to
Yeah.
say that, but yeah. So she was her mind was reset every single time, and yeah,
that's how
we're
you
getting in
break.
a rat hole, you know, we're
Yeah,
getting in a
yeah.
rat hole,
Well, that's how you
and
break
that's quite
someone's
interesting.
mind. That's why you had. That's how you break someone's. I think what they were trying to do to her is the same thing she did to the little girl. It's like she never, because if you think as a five, I think she was 5 or 6. If you think of a 5 or 6 year old and you're kidnapped and you are, they don't say they abuse her, but you are tortured and you are with strangers and you don't understand what's going on. You don't understand what's happening. You don't
Was the
understand.
girl fired? I don't remember, or maybe I didn't understand.
I don't remember how she was killed. I don't remember how she was killed. No, I don't remember. But anyways, if I think of myself as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old girl in a situation like this, I would never understand anything. I would never understand why are you doing this to me. I would never understand what are your intentions. What is my what am I being punished? So I think she was in the same position. Like, no, I'm not saying that she is the victim here, but I think that what they were trying to do here with her in Disney torture Disneyland was to cause her the same sensation the baby had, like this confusion, constant confusion, and sense of like what's going on, and people filming on you, and that's there are so many things to talk about here. So let's start with this by we're saying if she was not guilty, yeah, I mean if she was fully guilty, sorry, fully guilty, she's a sick person with very I don't know, an evil mind or criminal mind. Is this a fair punishment? Do we Can we help someone? First question, can we help someone like this? Do you think this is personal? No, no, like we don't need any, I think we don't need any like official I don't know, answer, just a feeling. Do you think that criminals like this, like her, can actually be I don't know, reintegrated in society? Can actually have somehow rehab? Can you recover of this something like this, Catherine? Do you think that she sorry, Vicente, would you like to join the discussion or just are you fine as a listener?
Listener is okay for today,
Yeah,
at least.
yeah. Yeah, don't
I
worry.
watched the episode like 2 years ago, so I'm not fresh with the content. So next time, I promise I will give
Don't
my
worry.
opinion
Don't
and
worry.
probably disagree. I will
With
go
everyone.
with
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can join Mr. I Disagree. So we're gonna have 2 disagrees today, and the rest of us can stay being kind and
It's
nice.
too boring if everyone agrees.
Yeah, we normally don't have agreement here. Don't worry. Thank you,
Right.
Vito.
So next time, I will give you my opinion.
We'll be counting on you. Don't worry. Thank you.
Okay.
Katie, so I was asking you first. Do you think
Yes.
that she could recover or be rehabbed?
I think that is difficult. You can think so como all this world with peace or very good people, but if one woman kill your father, for example, you trust or you want this woman suffer and torturate all the time for the rest of your life and her life, sorry, and you want to this woman go to the cárcel or I don't know,
Jail,
and
prison.
yes, and you lose all the como esperanza, no sé,
Hope.
hope, all the hope for this type of person recovery. And I think it's difficult. I don't know.
It's a difficult question.
Yes, my sister is trabajadora social, social worker. Yes, and her husband is a director of Aldeas SOS.
Yeah.
And this person work with the parents of children violence, and they work with the parents for psychologists they hope for the children come back with these families, these parents. But I think it's so difficult. I don't know. I don't want to say that this person they are bad, but it's difficult recovery. You talk about the guilty or a criminal person.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
I don't know.
this is a really tough question. I think the social system has been discussing this since probably not the very beginning, but earlier stage. If it was possible to reintegrate these people into society, and how can we do it? I personally think it is possible, but I think it's very difficult, and it's not my specialty. Luckily, we have someone here that knows about this. Otherwise, I would be like, "Oh, I don't know how to do it. I know they maybe they can, but I don't know how." Jorge, how do you think that people like this, if I kind of know this answer because we talked about this before, but first, do you think that these people could get rehabbed, and if so, how can we help, if we see this as help, people like this and society and victims?
Yes, it's a very difficult question because it's about values, about
Soma,
principios,
sorry.
so much. And I think the punishment system, the punishment law, the punish for example, to prevent the crime is a bad way to choose to social peace, because this is the objective, the final objective. Peace, our social control, a society civilized, but I think the way is the prevention, and we as a society we need to spend money in prevention, prevent the crime, because after when the crime is committed, we don't have anything, because anything uh, uh, doesn't do matter, o matter, no sé cómo decirlo, va a importar, digamos. Because when the crime is happen, the the pena, no sé cómo se dice pena en inglés.
The punishment or
The
the sentence, maybe?
the sentence, the punishment, the jail don't fix anything, because the criminal is not be better, don't be changed, and the most important thing is for society is not exemplified action, because the society don't fix his actions. The people don't make things for saying people in jail, and this is a fact for the penal law. And I think if the people, about your question, if the people, the criminal, for example, Victoria, or the criminal of Nivaldo, should, could be have a rehab or rehabilitized,
Reinsertion?
reinsertion.
Right.
I think it's not the question. It's not the question. I think the question is how prevent the crime, because after all, is uh, is is be late.
Jorge,
Yeah.
Jorge, I totally agree with you. In fact, I've worked in Sename in the lowest rank region across our country in Atacama, and it was really meaningful, but at the same time, really,
Depressing.
really um, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, because I agree with you. The most important part is to prevent. But I want to know your opinion on that topic. What shall we do as a society with rehab, with reinsertion, considering that prevention is the most important part? Do you think it's possible to rehab people that are in jail or that are rapers of their own brothers or siblings
Parents.
or sons and daughters? Uh, uh, what do you think about rehab and reinsertion in society?
Say a lawyer, it depends. But because you said rapist or homicide or el que hace lanzazo, digamos,
Yeah, the thief, the common thief.
the common thief, because we can see case to case, because the problem with the sexual criminals is very complex, because the societies, the countries have different forms to prevent and to focus the criminal sexual. For example, in United States, is more is difficult to understand this system, because, for example, for the pedophilia, is very sophisticated, because the neighbors of the pedophilo have a pedophile have the information about his, and they the criminal sex the sexual the focus of sexual criminals are different. But the other the other focus of the crime in United States is very awful. It's the worst system of jail. But about the sexual crime is very interesting. About the homicide of high connotation of I think, for example, homicide, I think is very difficult that they change, because it's people about the life is not a value, is a thing, it's nothing, is the life is not for, because they don't have family or have family very dysfunctional, and they don't have anything to lose. But the major mass of the jail, 80%, I think, I know the percentage.
The actual
Yes, is a criminal of that the first is pure criminal, so, poor criminal.
poor. Yeah, poor.
Poor criminal. And this is a point, because in Chile and Latin America, the poor is jail, and it's a thing very interesting. But I think the major percentage of the jail must be free, in freedom, because the system, the jail in Chile is the great problem of Chile. I think the jail, the immigrants,
education.
education,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you,
But
thank
I think yes, Sename is a but yes, but this problem is about the life, because the jail is a problem that affect. No, education is a thing important to prevent. It's absolutely important.
Yes,
Yes,
it's key here.
yes, but to prevent, to answer the question, the non
society.
Yes, the human crime is very the treatment in Chile is very bad. It's a very big problem, because the minor criminal in the jail it's transformed in a better criminal with magister, and this is a very big problem, because the jail is a machine of produce homicides. Sorry for I think I extended too much.
You have all our attention and all the time. Actually, like, I would silence everyone else and not you. No.
Man, it was amazing, and you have improved a lot these months.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of me. But yeah, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So yeah, I would like to comment, like, I cannot comment on the legal part of this. Like, absolutely, I will go into the. I am no psychologist, but I am amateur psychologist, and my profession has a lot to do with psychology too. So this is gonna sound. I will try to say this as less horrible as possible, but this is, let's try to understand this as more psychological, not social perspective. So when it comes to the percentage of criminals in jail, the actual criminals, those that cannot recover, I think that those that cannot recover could be those that have mental illnesses, like, I don't know, psychopaths, or maybe some schizophrenic people that have never received treatment, bipolar that have never received treatment, sociopaths, sick people. But you don't have to be mentally ill officially to commit a sex crime. There are some sex offenders that are like sick in their minds, let's say, that have some obsession or perversion or sociopath or psychopath, whatever. But I think that not everyone, because there's a value thing here too. But potentially, we could go through a mental state in which we could commit a crime like this. You could kidnap someone, you could commit a sexual crime under given circumstances without being someone that has a mental condition that causes that. You could have a mental breakdown, you could have a psychotic breakdown, and you could lose your mind. Adrenaline, drugs, emotional state, depression, it could happen. So I think in those cases, and this is the difficult thing, to know when it's something that you cannot do anything, when it's something that is in your brain, and when it's something circumstantial, that could be life you had, abuse you suffer as a kid, everything. So I think that's the challenge for society and the mental, I mean, the health system, mental health system, the jail system, education. We all collapse in the fact that we never know that perfectly, to know when it's something that we can change or something that we cannot change, and how do we change that. So I think that a lot of people here could get treatments and could maybe be rehabbed, and their kids could get the education that they need to stop reproducing this cycle of abuse, in all cases of abuse, from the stealing to sexual abuse. But there will always be cases in which you cannot do anything, like homicides, who, as you said, have nothing to lose. And as a society, we tend to forget about them and give them less hope to find something to do with their lives. So I don't know if you guys agree, disagree, Hernan, Kathy, here, with this idea that maybe some could be rehabbed, maybe others don't. Which can, which cannot? No? Kathy?
I don't know. I think that the maybe the sexual cases, maybe this type of person can be como changed,
Rehabbed?
maybe.
Changed? Yeah.
Rehab, yes. But I don't know.
Or controlled, at least.
Yes, you can give another chance, but if you talk about the criminal or people dead or killing, it's very risky. Give this
Yeah.
opportunity
Ah,
for
yeah.
this type of person.
Yes, it
If
could
you
happen
kill,
again.
exactly, if you kill another person, and I say, okay, I give one opportunity. Probably you have another, or you make another criminal.
But if the system is responsible in this case, like if the system actually works and it sends you to psychologists, psychiatrists, it gives you therapy, you have a police officer checking on you where you are, and you, like, if it works, it shouldn't happen again. Unless you are an ill person that has no solution. So how do we know when? That's a difficult discussion. It's really
There are one case when I don't remember. Maybe it's the case of Quilpue.
Yeah.
The
Nivaldo?
guilty. Yes, no.
Which
But
one? Amber?
there are one person that it was in the cárcel, no sé cómo se dice.
Yeah. Amber.
And
Amber.
yes. And
Yeah, the stepfather was in jail. He was freed, but he never got the medical attention he needed. Or maybe he did. I don't know. Do they, Jorge? Do they get medical attention?
No, it's more. They don't have the condition to have the freedom. And absolutely, I think they don't have the pills and nothing, and rehab, nothing.
It's like Joker, like this movie.
Yeah. I think it's
yeah.
difficult. I remember the case of the aldeas when my sister talked about this, and they give another chance to families for recovery their children, but the parents have a long process with psychologists and all the company, and for another part, the children have a more education or better education. Is a both part.
Yes, but I think that's when poverty comes in the way. Society, like, okay, we give them the tools, like, yeah, this is what you need. This is the psychological support, the pills, everything, but then you put them back in a society that gives them. Sorry, we're just about to finish, but thank you so much. Thank you. Very proud of you. Congratulations. See you. Take care. So just to close this idea, was that I kind of got lost. So yeah, you give them everything, but then society still close doors to them. Like, for example, let's say you're poor, you are uneducated, you do not know another lifestyle, then it's not, I don't know, abusing your kids or whatever. What's the purpose of fixing the problem in one case if it's the same scenario and same circumstances that can lead you back to the same crime?
But
so
it's about the ¿cómo se dice? Trust.
Yeah, so you have to trust in the system.
Yes, or no. Do you trust in a guilty, o sea, in a criminal person that recovery or take all the, ¿cómo se dice? Sorry. Do you trust in the person that killing another person, but take all the process with psychologists or all these things? Do you give a work, for example, or yes?
I think if the system works, I would trust that person. Hernan, go ahead before we close the discussion.
I just want to say one more thing, because I think this is a huge topic. It's more a topic to go deep with either a coffee or a piscola.
I go for the second.
I think it's yeah, of course, but I think it's a huge theme, and I could really talk about so many things, and well, I profoundly respect the confidentiality oath that I made, so I won't talk about so much more than the things that I could talk about that I've seen, and it's this has so many levels, and it's so damn hard, but well, I just want to say one thing, and it's that I really want to break down one myth that was stated a few ago, and it's about rapers. It's a myth to think that all rapists were raped when they were children.
Yeah,
and it's also a myth backwards. A person who was raped
does not necessarily become
it's not going to be a rapist.
No.
The only case when this is true, and what's most sad, people don't know, professionals in those areas don't know, except if we're working in Senami or we're specialized in this, is when you see a kid that raped another kid. The most probable reason is that this kid was recently raped.
Yeah.
And people don't know that, and people forgot that, and people don't find the adult that raped this initial kid that were raping other kids.
And that's a
And
cycle.
that's the only rule that is 100% true.
Yeah.
Because a kid never rapes
Just
without
because.
knowing what a rape is and without being raped, without suffering that.
Without
And
sexual
it's
hormones.
a cope mechanism in a way, but well, I don't want to go deep with that. But
Yeah.
well, it's a huge topic with so many I don't know how to say
Layers.
sutilezas, but
Layers,
so many
that's
gray areas and so many issues and so many dilemmas and so many things. Well, yeah. I think I I hadn't realized we were going to travel in this emotional roller coaster so much, but it really made me think and remember all the things that I struggled with when I was in Atacama. And yeah, well, what a huge topic. And I really hope, as you said, that our um, our justice system, prisons, and Sename and some other institutions really change so we can help people to prevent crime, but also to help them when they commit some crimes to have a decent and a meaningful rehab. That's what I think.
I agree 100% agree with you. And yes, I'm getting kind of sad here. So we're about to finish. No, but really, it really helps. So, and I think it's more than just because of the victims here. It's a benefit for everyone as a society. We will be a better society once we prevent crimes like this and once we help those in need, whether you are the victim or a victim of a system that doesn't work. Guys, deep discussion as usual. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to discuss all this with you, especially with Jorge. He was a great contribution to this discussion. I'm very sorry that Jorge Yancafil missed this. But I will see you next Thursday with episode 3, season 2. To keep talking about deep, depressing, sad things that questions our
like
existence.
mirror put in our minds every week. It's your fault.
Every week you get
it's
more
your
depressed.
Fault.
If I'm not happy, no one will be happy. Thank you, guys.
Sorry, a question.
Yes,
Do you
yes.
remember the name of the chapter that we need?
I will see it right
Is the
away.
Christmas special or not?
Give me 1 second. I'm not sure. I watched this like I don't know how many years.
I don't remember.
Ago. This is the next. Let me see. Is the Waldo moment.
Oh.
And the Waldo moment is a failed comedian. I haven't seen that one. I don't know if I did.
The worst.
Is the worst? It's the worst. Is it the worst?
Well,
yeah. Yeah. So we have 2 people saying that it's the worst.
No, but it's interesting. They say it was kind of a premonition about Trump.
So maybe we can find please, oh God, so I don't know what to do now. Skip it. What do we do? Should we skip it and just I don't know what's coming.
I think we should watch it, but
I
don't hate me, guys.
I think we should go through all of them, and we always, even when those episodes I think that they're not that interesting, like the 15 million reasons was at the beginning when I watched it, I was like, no, it's not much of a big deal, but then we found a great discussion with it anyway. So I think I'm sorry, hermanitas bravos, bravos brothers, but I promise that we will have fun anyway. You will have fun. This is always fun. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. And what we could do for next session? So it's not that boring since it is the worst episode that we should skip. We could fun and depressing. We could try. Maybe you guys can send questions so we can start reflecting about them in advance before the meeting, or topics that we could talk about, we could think about. So that way we are all more prepared to this discussion, and we can find interesting things in things that may look not uninteresting. So yeah, thank you. Hugs to everyone and see you next Thursday, same time, same place. Take care. Be good.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you for coming. Bye.